Well, let's just hunker down. Pick your posture to pick your posture that's comfortable so you can attend, so you can pay attention to your body, so you can feel your breathing. And part of that is being able to relax your shape, relax the tension that sticks around in your movement patterns, in your tasks, so that you can get that sense of just being here. And when we talk about being present, when we talk about being here, we do that through our sensory system. So feel what you feel in this posture, in this place. And maybe feel your whole body here. Feel your skin, your outer surface. In some places, your skin will feel pressure, warmth. Some skin might feel the movement of air around it, your cheeks, your nose. And just let your outer surface soften, relaxing, relaxing your skin. And go inward and feel the shape of your inner structure, your bones, and all the tissues that hold on to your bones. Feel those relaxing, muscles and tendons and ligaments, inner body softening. Feel your breathing, movement of breath, weaving inner body and outer body together, movement of breath. Easy to feel. For the next couple of minutes, we'll stay right here with this sense of breathing, in breath expanding, Out breath condensing. In breath filling. Out breath emptying. And in this way, we stay with the present moment. And we give ourselves a break from all the things we do and all the things we think. And just be. And of course, thinking's going to happen along the way. So when you catch yourself planning or thinking about something else, just come back, feel. To close our meditation, we let that go. And then you might like to lay a hand on your heart or hand on your body or bring palms together. And then we're just going to set whatever props we're on aside and roll to rest on our left sides. As you go to your left side, have your bolster with you. And we'll use our bolsters as a pillow. And when you put your pillow under your head, make sure that your face is over the end of your pillow, yeah? So that when we go through our bowstring, which we're going to do now, when we go through our bowstring, when you turn forward, you won't be smushing your face on your pillow. There's nothing to smush your face on. And we're just going to tuck into fetal position here on the left. So knees tuck up towards the chest. And if your left hand can reach, We'll put the left hand on the right knee. Right knee. Yeah, so opposite hand across. And let's just start by lifting the right foot. Keep your knees together. Bless you. And lower the right foot back down. We'll do that a couple of times. I guess a couple was the wrong word. We'll do it a few times. And we'll bring the foot back down. And your left hand can stay on the right knee, and the right arm's going to reach up to the sky. Without turning your chest and your shoulders, take your right arm out behind you. So you're just seeing how far back your right arm goes. And here we're just aiming to take a little bit of a stretch across that top side of the chest over the right, across the front of the right shoulder. And let's bring the right hand forward. Right hand to the floor. And the right hand's going to slide forward. So right fingers are reaching away from you as your fingers slide forward. Here's where your face, your chest turns toward the floor. And then right arm comes back, and we'll sweep that right arm up and out behind. This time, as your right arm reaches out behind, go ahead and turn your head to follow your hand. So you're letting rotation travel all the way up your spine to the top of your head and then forward again. Are you guys playing tootsies? Yeah. And we'll just take that forward and back. And as you go forward and back here, you're just enjoying the easy space. So there's no pressure to move into a big twist. We're just warming up our spines. Evelyn, if you just pull forward by an inch or two, that might buy you. Okay. So last time or two, on the last one, if you want, you can just come back to rest on your side, or you can hang out into that twist with the right arm reaching behind you. And let's take 3 more nice full breaths, filling up on the in-breath and a long release with the exhale. And from here, we'll roll back onto our backs. As you come onto your back, you can keep the bolster under your head, or you can just push it up above the top of your head, and we'll take a couple of windshield wipers. So I find the bolster a bit big as a pillow when taking cozy little windshield wiper twists, knees turn side to side. And just nice and easy. We'll save the big shape for our bowstring on the other side. And then coming back to center. We'll hold our constructive rest pose. Feet will stand just a little wider than the hips. And we're just going to exhale. So you're breathing out. The belly presses back some, and the lower back presses into the floor. So this brings that tilt into the pelvis where your tailbone curls up away from the floor. And then when you breathe in, just relax that. Relax it back to center. Exhale, flattening the lower back. Inhaling, relaxing. We'll do 3 or 4 more. Exhale, flattening. Inhale, relaxing. Relaxing that. As you come back to center, if the idea of coming into center is to soften and let go, it can be nice to scan through and see where you might still be a little guarded or holding stress. So notice your eyebrows and your eyes. Could they soften? Notice if your teeth are pressed together, could that loosen? Shoulders, belly, even fingers and toes. We get really sneaky about where we're going to hide our tension as we try to hold it all together. And then when you're ready to, bless you, when you're ready to, go ahead and roll to your right side. How's it going so far? Good. Nice and easy? Yes. Relaxing? Good, good. And again, as you roll to your side, your face is at the edge of your bolster. So we have our bolster for our pillow, and there's lots more bolster behind you. And that bolster will support you as we go through our twisting, which we'll start in a few moments. Once you're set up on your right side, maybe your right hand holds your left knee. And it just reminds the lower body to stay together as we lift the left foot and lower it back down. And you're lifting your left foot up as high as you can, lowering back down. And at some point, we'll bring that leg back down, soften in. Left arm reaches up. Again, the only part of our bodies that we're moving here is that left arm as it reaches back behind. I like to try to keep the palm of my hand facing towards the sky here. Just looking for Comes forward, touches the floor, fingers slide away from you. And then the left hand slides back, sweeps up and out behind you. Turn your head to follow the left hand. And we'll just take it forward and back. Take it easy. Again, it's just a pleasant opportunity to rotate the spine in a friendly sort of way. Does it feel useful to you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how about in your spine? Does it feel like a safe way to be moving?
It feels like
Yeah. 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 So this is your homework. Do this every day, like 5 minutes on each side or 3 minutes on each side, and just give your spine a chance to, kind of set down, and you don't get the woozies when you lie on your side. Good. Yeah. Or it wasn't woozies. It was tinnitus. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. All good. Great. And then where would you like to pause? On your side or out into the twist? And we'll just rest there for a few breaths. And of course, the idea of resting is really not working anymore. Just letting your bones soften, let the breath soften your body. And eventually, we're going to come back onto our backs. And as you come back onto your back, you might want to slide that bolster out so that your head is, your neck isn't curled forward, bolster size. We'll set our arms out nice and wide, and let's step our feet a little wider again. So have your feet stand maybe about the width of your shoulders. And then from here, the left knee is going to be the only body part that windshield wipers. So we're just going to let the left knee sway inward and back up and maybe out a little bit, however that happens for you. A few more times, left knee swaying back and forth, rolling from your inner foot to your outer foot. And last time. And then the left knee comes back up, and we'll just switch over to the right knee. Right knee in, rolling to the inner edge of the foot. Right knee up and maybe away a little bit as you roll to the outer edge of the foot. Back and forth. Nice last time or two. And back to center. And we'll walk our feet closer together. Once again, exhaling, flattening the lower back, pressing the lumbar spine into the floor. And as that happens, the pelvis tilts upwards, tailbone turns up towards the sky. We're going to keep the pelvis this way as we start to press into our feet and curl up vertebra by vertebra into our little bridge pose. So the hips curl up away from the floor, and then we gradually curl up higher and higher, and then curl back down. Same way, one rib at a time, returning to the ground, one lumbar vertebra at a time, and then the pelvis. We'll do that a few times. And as always, the instruction, the most important instruction is when you're curling up, only curl up as high as you want to, as high as feels stable and delightful for you. You might have some other purpose to doing this. You might want to strengthen, and that's okay too. But whatever your focus is just take it easy. Yeah, let's not push beyond what our bodies are inviting us to do. Always starting our movement with the flattening phase, pressing out through the lower back, finding that length. And whenever you feel like you've done enough, just come on back down to rest. So hopefully we've moved enough that as we find our lacrosse balls, we feel prepared. Our muscles feel warm. So yeah, go ahead and get that lacrosse ball. We'll put the lacrosse ball in the right hand. And let's go together, and we'll follow a really specific map as we roll through this preparation for our lower backs and for our hips. So we're going to start with the ball in the right hand. Turn your knees a bit to the left so that you can pop that lacrosse ball underneath your right cheek against the edge of your sacrum. If you're not sure what I'm meaning by that, I'll show you. So it's pressed up against the edge of the sacrum. So you're on buttocks muscles where they wrap onto the bone. And then we're going to center our knees, center our hips, so that we can zigzag back and forth onto the sacrum and then over onto the buttocks. And we'll just let that zigzag travel down toward the tailbone, though don't roll your tailbone necessarily. That can be kind of creepy. And then same thing, you'll roll the zigzag up your sacrum all the way up to the top of the pelvis. It's a long way, so take your time. Don't be surprised. Sacrums are so tall. And then we work our way all the way up to the very top of the pelvis. So you're not quite in your lower back, but as you roll the top of the sacrum, do you need a lacrosse ball? Did it go for a roll? Oh, okay. So it's really quite bony. What we're doing here is really quite bony. Okay. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with your sacrum, if you put your hand at the back of your hips, at the back of your butt, there's a nice wide plate of bone here that's an upside down triangle or kind of shield shaped. So don't expect it to be flat or smooth or, regular in any way. So you'll have to tell me, this is the edge of the sacrum, and we're zigzagging back and forth from buttocks muscle onto the sacrum. And I bet it's going to hurt. Yeah, if you want a softer ball, I have. Okay. It really is. Yes. It's a bit of a bull in a china shop, though. So if it's too much, if it feels like too much, it's better to go with less. Good, good, good. Yeah, so constructive rest pose. So just like you are, knees are bent. And then you kind of go like, right? And you might, yeah, you can do it one of two ways. You can kind of like scooch down and the ball rolls up, or you can just use your hand and move the ball. So whatever. You're a professional. Professional butt roller. I knew you would. I think that's why I could say it to you. Good. Good. You probably do. Yeah. Even if it's not exact, it's still really good. Oh, oh, does it? It's getting in there. Yeah. Yeah. Good. 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 Good one to skip, Heather. Love the wisdom here. Not doing that again. Good. And then let's switch sides. So we're just going to move the ball over to the left hand, pop the ball under the left hip where the edge of the sacrum is. And again, head back into that zigzag. And let me give you something else to do. So we are going to stretch the piriformis in a moment, which you can do or not do if you've already done it. But what about going back to constructive rest pose? So 2 knees bent and feet not too wide apart, and just a little knee back and forth, 1 knee. Do that for a minute, and then the other knee. Once you've done that, so that's like 2 minutes, straighten out one leg and just roll on your heel. And you're kind of pushing into the stretch, pushing into the stretch. And that plies the tissues around the sciatic nerve without, hopefully, but you let me know. And if it feels counterproductive, just don't do it. Yeah, pretty safe, I hope. I went for IMS on this very region on Monday morning, and it makes it feel much nicer later. Yeah, yeah, funny, hey? Yeah, funny, not funny. When you've done this right side enough, or left side, then we're gonna, that's right, we started on the right. Then we're gonna take the lacrosse ball back to the right hand. No throwing. That's a different class. And then from here, again, knees are going to tilt over towards the left. This time that lacrosse ball is going under your lower back. So the space that you would call the small of your back or the arch of your lower back. So it's going in there, not to the spine. You're going to stay on the right side of the spine where there are lots of big, thick, strong muscles. And here too, as you roll back to center, little zigzag from side to side. I do this by picking my hips up and swinging my hips side to side. And for this one, it's nice to just lift up, move the ball up a little bit or down a little bit. Another thing that I find, because my lower back is wickedly tight all the time, is sometimes I don't roll, I just rest. So you might pop the ball under those tender, tough muscles and just let it press in and rest against the shape of the ball. Don't move.
That crooked.
You're that crooked. You must have snuggled with your children in a very enthusiastic way this weekend. Did you get all the hugs you needed? That's nice. Good. And then when you're ready to, we'll go to the other side. Left side. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, the arch of the back. Yeah. And then lift your tush, if that feels okay. So you're lifting your tush. Felt better with the tush down. I see that. Does that feel appropriate? Yeah, good. And then when all that feels done, just set the ball aside. Set the ball aside, take a few breaths. You can rest here in constructive rest pose, just as we've been, or you could stretch out into something like Shavasana. You could roll onto your side if you need a break from being on your back. And just taking the breath down into the belly. In breath, creating that gentle rise in your tummy. Out breath, the belly falls back. Three more breaths. And when those three breaths are complete, draw your knees into your chest, a hand on each knee so that your knees can circle. As your knees circle, your shoulders will circle. Circle in the opposite direction. And then we'll take the left foot to the floor. Right leg's going to cross over the left leg. So the kind of cross we're looking for here is where your right thigh tries to line up with your left thigh. Yeah, so you're wrapping your legs up like a twist tie. If there's no stretch to feel here, all you're going to do is start to bring your legs toward you. And your hands can hold the right knee, the front knee, or the back knee around the back of the thigh, however far you reach. And as we come into this eagle legs stretch, we want this right knee to be towards the midline of our body. So it's kind of pointing up toward your nose or your chin or your heart. Nice little piriformis stretch. Hopefully feeling the stretch in the center of your right buttock. If drawing the legs towards you is too much, go ahead and put your foot back down on the floor. That's fine. That's perfect, Heather. Yeah, that can stay down. The way you're holding your leg is perfect. Last breath. Relax as you exhale. Yeah. Great. And we'll unwind that and we'll cross the other way. So right foot's on the floor, left knee comes towards the chest. So you're softening your belly, you're bringing your leg toward you, and then wrapping the left thigh over the right thigh. Again, you'll see your left knee moves toward, maybe even past your midline. And then we'll tuck the knee up toward the chest, or both legs up towards the chest. I'll show you. This was the first one. Not too much effort though, right? Look at that. That's right. So go for 10% stretch. That's more than 10 if you're holding your breath. Okay. So go ahead and put that foot back down on the floor and just keep your leg with your hands, but relax a little. Yeah. Better? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. And then the other side too. And this one's the bionic hip or the other one?
No, this is the ring.
Okay. Great. We'll unwind, take it back to the floor, rock and roll a little bit, have a little wiggle. We're going to come around to tabletop. That's nice. You got some little creaks and crinkles as you moved away from the floor. So tabletop to rounding your back into the cat pose. Curl your chin towards your chest. Curl your chin towards your chest. The back body's rounded. Tuck your tail towards the backs of your knees. Filling up, rounding out the back of your chest. Other way. So your back is round. And then look forward. Lengthen. And we'll do it again. Round. Slouchy spine. And extend. Back bend. Couple more. Curling in. Last time to cow pose, the back bend. Last time to cat pose. And then sit your hips back towards your feet. Curling into the child's pose. As you curl into child's pose, knees can be together, or you can make more space by sending your knees further apart. So do what feels right as your hips sit back towards your feet, and arms can reach forward, or arms could be a pillow for your forehead. As you rest into your child's pose and you feel your body, if you find it to not be restful, but more concerning or painful, then come out onto your tummy or press up into downward facing dog. So no pressure to stay in your child's pose if it feels bad. Last 3 breaths, nice long exhales. And then we're going to come up and just take any old seated posture. Any old seated posture in which you can sit tall. I'm not going to sit like this. That would be ridiculous. My feet would fall asleep. But maybe today I'll kneel. I will. And maybe it's nice to have a block. So if you're going to sit up on something, then it might be nice to have a block on either side, because we are going to take a hand to the floor in a moment. Kneeling's not mandatory. Kneel, sit cross-legged, sit with your legs outstretched in front of you, whatever floats your boat. Are you kind of comfy? Here, don't kneel. Go like this instead. Get your bolster. Put it behind you, straight back. And sit on it. Cross-legged, or like this, or like this, or whatever. Yeah, just so that you can sit up. There you go. Nice. Anyone else can change their posture too. Sometimes I think I shouldn't kneel in class because like people think they should then kneel. But that's better. And look at you. You've just made peace with kneeling. It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, you will. We'll show you. So just to start with some shoulder circles. As you circle your shoulders, be sure that you're not doing a little chicken bob here. Keep your head still. Shoulders circling around the ribs. And reverse your circles. Last one. And left hand comes to the floor or your block. And right arm just sweeps up. And this is all about you. How far do you want to go? What feels nice? We'll take it up and over to the other side. That arm that's on the floor, the elbow can be straight or the elbow can be bent. And just to get a little bit of a flow happening. We're thinking about side bending through the spine, not so much tipping over, but however it works for you. Just enjoy that side body lengthening. You might like to let your head in on it. So as you lean to the right, your right ear can tip down. A little stretch through the neck if that feels safe. Last one to the left. Last one to the right. Back up, and we're turning to the left. No hands to take you into the twist. So turn to the left. Once you've turned, put your right hand on your left leg, wherever it goes. That could be over by the foot, right? The shin, the knee, the thigh, whatever works. And then the left hand could be on your left hip or on the floor behind you. Keep sitting up nice and tall. Let your eyes turn to the left as your head turns to look over the left shoulder, just in that direction. If you feel like you've gone too far and you're working hard to press into the twist, then just back up a few degrees. Let it be nicer. Keep the twist, but turn your eyes in the opposite direction. So you're looking out of the corner, the right-hand corner of your eyes. And then we'll turn out of the twist. Little vestibular play. I felt that one. Did anyone else feel that? Yeah. I don't usually feel those. There you go. There's your empathy. Turn to the right. Left hand to the right leg. Right hand to the floor, your bolster. Turn and look over your right shoulder. And your eyes are looking out of the right corner. So your eyes are twisting too. If it's too much, back up in a matter of degrees, 1 or 2 or 3 or 10. Just because it felt funny coming out of the posture on one side doesn't mean it will on the other side. That's part of the magic of our vestibular systems, is they're not necessarily symmetrical in their function, just like your hips. So as we come out of it, go ahead and turn your eyes to the left, maybe not as far if you feel unstable, and then back to center. There you go. Fingers to the shoulders, big elbow circles. Again, your head stays still. Opposite direction. Really press your elbows back. And reaching forward, palms together, round your back like cat pose, curl in. So super slow T here. And then as you inhale, take your arms wide apart. Arms wide apart, they press back behind. Lift your chest up, widen across your collarbones, and then forward again. Hands together, exhale. Inhale, open that out. Exhale. Inhale. A few more times. Last one. End in the back bend. And come on back to center. How's our time? I think it's time. It's time for us to stand up. How, pray tell, will you do that? I'll watch. I'll watch. Go ahead and stand up. Nice, nice. Good, good. Great. Nice standing. No falling. So in this class, we play a game. Most weeks, it's called Get Up, Get Down. So that was the first one. How are you going to get down? How far are you going to go? What's your ending posture? And in this class, when we play our Get Up, Get Down, we do it 3 times. So we've just completed one. Use the chair to Dolores. That's helpful. It is hard, isn't it? Yeah. That was 2. Yeah, and try to do it a little differently each time. I think I usually, when I do that, I turn my knees more towards the right. There we go. Opposite side. Ooh, squatting up. Sometimes we use help. There we go. Good. Great. I hope that went well at home. Everybody's standing. That's good. Oh, lovely. Do we play Get Up, Get Down in our regular lives? We sure do. Yeah, every day. Glad to hear it. Let's stand with our feet nice and wide apart. You might like to stand longwise on your mat. So turn towards the long side of your mat. I'm lucky. I have two long sides of my mat. And angle your right toes inward. And angle your left toes all the way out. So your left toes are pointed to the short end of your mat. We'll bend the left knee. And we'll straighten the left knee. So we're all built differently here. We've all lived different lives. Maybe the knee has lots of bend, maybe it has less. We'll do it again. So go with how you move. As that left knee bends, take a peek at your left big toe. Make sure it's still there. Maybe your second toe. And the next time we bend into that left knee, just pause there. We'll reach the left arm out over the left hand. Look forward past your left fingers. And the right arm reaches back. Palm facing the floor. Taking a few breaths. Okay, first of all, I'm not picking on you. Okay, just so you know.
Oh, no.
This comes up.
Okay.
That goes up.
Uh-huh.
But it looks like it wants to come forward. Is that
Okay.
a little more comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Great.
Perfect. With your next in-breath, arms sweep all the way up as your left knee bends, straightens rather. 2 more. Warrior 2, sinking in, coming up. Triangle-ish shape. Last one, warrior 2. This time, left hand comes to, no it doesn't, right hand comes to the right leg. Left arm sweeps up in front. The victorious warrior. Hands come to heart. Left knee straightens, turn all your toes back to face the long side of the mat. And we'll switch that. So left toes angle towards the right a little bit. And then the right toes turn all the way out. Grippy socks. We should all have our grippy socks on. Nice. Let's put hands on hips just while we focus on the front leg. And that right knee is going to bend. And just get to know your right knee this morning. And then straighten. Make sure you can still see your right big toe. Maybe your right second toe. And then just finding a comfortable depth, we'll pause. Right knee bent, right arm reaches out over the right leg. Left arm, okay, for funny shoulders, left arm comes down, left palm turns outward, and then we'll lift the left arm out wide. So it just kind of moves us around the bony tendinous pinching that can happen at the back of at the top of the left shoulder. If you want here, you can turn your left palm toward the floor. Nice, and we'll inhale and straighten the right knee, hands come up. Exhale and bend into it again. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior 2. Last one, into warrior 2. And warrior 2 becomes the victorious warrior, the exalted warrior. Left hand to the left leg, right arm sweeps up. You should feel very exalted here. Hands to heart. We'll straighten up. Turn all the toes forward. Wiggle your hips. We'll start to walk feet together. How is our time? Good. We'll walk up to the top of our mats. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhaling, just the arms come down. Follow your whole breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Here, as you exhale, start to shift your weight so your hips lean back and you can fold forward. Hands can come to your legs, to the floor, to blocks or a chair. Give your head a little nod, a little shake. If this feels iffy on your lower back, what I do when that happens is I just put my hands on my thighs. So I stay into a really nice halfway lift. Maybe it's higher than a halfway lift, and just let my head hang down. And then I still get the nice support of relaxing through the upper spine. If you're happy to hang here, you could even cross your arms and add a little bit of extra dangling weight. And we'll inhale and lift halfway. If you had crossed your arms, release that. Bring your hands to the floor, bend your knees. So you're squatting, and maybe it's not so symmetrical. It's okay if you walk off to the side a little bit. And then we're coming back to tabletop. From tabletop, we're stretching out onto our tummies. Stack your hands or your forearms under your forehead or your chin. And let your feet sway a little from side to side. We're here to rest again, so enjoy the sensations of your breath slowing down, your body relaxing. You might also notice that for a few moments your thought patterns have shifted. You were doing other things, you were distracted. You can keep your legs moving or let your legs come to stillness. And for about 1.5 minutes, we're going to option 2, work with pranayama, the bee's breath pranayama, called, let's see, in Sanskrit, Brahmari breath. And the bee's breath is really easy. You're already doing it, and we do it all the time when we hum. I assume I'm not the only chronic hummer singer in here. I'm always singing things. So, and this is really great. It's really good for your nervous system. It slows your exhalation, and then the vibration of toning with our throats is very soothing through our really primitive nervous system, our brainstem. And that's where our sort of structural stress patterns live. So what, pray tell, is this bee's breath? It's really nice. So you breathe in and you breathe out just as you always do, through your nose. But when you breathe out, you just make a sound. It goes like this. And you breathe in that way as long as you like, as you exhale, and then you start again. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out with that humming sound at whatever pitch or volume you like. Some people like a really quiet hum. Some people give a bigger hum. So just play 1 more minute. Mm. As you take your next breath or two, and just let it start to wind down. So continuing until you feel done with it. And then once you let the practice go, again, relax your jaw, your mouth, your tongue, your throat, your eyes, anywhere else where, a body part was supporting your vocal tone. And from here, we're going to take our time to set ourselves up onto our back mudras. So there's no hurry to press away from the floor. Just as you feel ready, make your way up. And for our back mudra time, we'll use the back mudra, we'll use the low block as well as your yoga strap. So if you don't have a yoga strap, I'm going to go over there because I've lost my block. Does anyone else need a fabric strap? So block under your hips, yoga strap within reach, back mudra lined up with your spine. Looking for a strap? Aki. See. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, found them. So when you curl back onto your back mudra, always have your head on your back mudra. What's happening? Is everybody losing their... Okay. Yeah, I'll go. Thanks. So we have the block under our hips and then the mudra behind us supporting the head. And again, your yoga strap is just within reach. I gotcha. June? Yeah, okay. You get in. You just do you. Okay, so how I do this is I start with that here. Okay. Turn your back on it. Don't curl back. Just turn your back to it. And then now curl back. So you want the back mudra to line up with your spine. It won't be comfortable. Bend your knees. Lift your hips. Higher. Scoot that under there. There. Did it? Keep your knees bent. Yeah. Nice. Okay. If you feel like you want off of the back mudra before I say it's time to get off the back mudra, just do it. Just you have permission to take it away. Okay. Nope. So we're just pausing. Melt over your back mudra. From here, we're going to take our hands to either side of our heads. Don't lift your head up off your back, Mitra, but pull the back of your head away from your shoulders, just so that the back of your neck sort of straightens out. It doesn't really straighten out. And then we're going to take the yoga strap. And we just need the length of the yoga strap. So don't feel like you have to put a loop in it. We're going to fold this yoga strap in half. And with hands, shoulders distance, we'll lay the yoga strap between both our hands and reach the strap up to the ceiling. From here, we're going to tug on the strap gently and push your shoulders forward. Push the strap towards the ceiling as you keep the strap nice and taut. And then let your shoulders back down. Elbows are going to stay straight. So we're using the strap to help support control of our shoulders. Reach up and sink back. So your shoulders, your arms are simply pushing forward and resting back as you tug on the yoga strap. So strap toward the sky. Yeah. What if you hold more here and here? Pull gently. And then strap is going to push up toward me. There you go. Leave the strap there and put your shoulders down. Keep tugging. Shoulders go back. Forward. That's just like that. Yeah. So nice pressing skyward and pulling back. Pressing skyward and pulling back. Hands probably closer together on the strap. So just this far apart, a little closer. And then forward. Does that feel okay? And back. And your head's in, nope. Forward this way. Backward that way. There you go. Good. Your head's okay?
Yeah. It's a little sore, but.
What if you lift your head? Put that there. Does that help any? A little smidgy? Great. And then we'll turn this into circling. So the strap pushes forward toward the sky, and then the strap stays there. Your hands can be closer. There you go. The strap stays right there. You're going to keep it taut. Push up to the ceiling. Keep your arms up in this way. Keep breathing. And bring your shoulders up to your ears. And take your shoulders back to the floor. And down to your hips. There it is. And up to the sky. So that we're making nice big shoulder circles while keeping that little bit of outer support. Just shoulders are circling. So the strap just staying right there in front of you. And if you figured that out, go ahead and try reversing it, opposite direction. Strap stays here. Push up to the sky. That's not the sky's up there. There you go. Now keep the strap there and just pull your shoulders down to the floor. That's good. And then up to the sky. And I think maybe you could do less here. Relax a little as you do it. Definitely keep breathing. It's nice to breathe. It's the concentration. All right, let the strap down. Just place it across your belly or something. Let your shoulders down. Relax your breath. We have one more movement to do here. So before we go into our next movement, check in with your shoulders, check in with your hands, your wrists. Are they happy to continue this work with the yoga strap? If so, we'll pick it back up again. If not, now's a nice time to rest. So we'll pick up the yoga strap again. Your elbows are straight once again. The yoga strap is taut, so you have that posterior shoulder activation for stability. Hands are pulling on the yoga strap. And we're going to let the left hand pull a little more than the right, so that the left hand is pulling the right arm slowly and gently toward the midline, maybe across the midline. And then the right arm's going to win the tug of war and pull the left arm more toward the right. Just back and forth a couple of times. And then back to center and set the yoga strap down. And relax your ears, relax your hair. It was all helping. Relax your eyebrows, your cheeks, your shoulders, your chest, belly. Just be soft. There's nothing left to do. As you feel ready to, you can begin the journey into Shavasana, which is our closing meditation, which we do reclined and resting. So to get there, you push your feet into the floor and lift your hips. Take the block away, roll away from your back mitra. Take the back mitra away. And then where will you go from there? You can rock around on your back for a moment, and you can get a blanket, your bolster, any other comfort that you might like. Yeah. Yeah, you are a lot straighter. It was quite remarkable. Yeah. So back mitra, flatten and arches are good. And then bilateral, measured movements with the shoulders can help. And working with your neck is titchy though, so eyes.
At least my spine is stiff on that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Do you sleep on your right side? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably from sleeping. I would say when you sleep on your right side, if you can, sleep with a bigger pillow so you're not so side bending all night long. Yeah, so Shavasana is our closing meditation. Bolster under the knees is nice. Pillow under the head is good. You might want to put your jacket back on if you feel cool. Yeah, yeah. And then we just snuggle in. And so we come to rest after moving in all these ways, after focusing on ourselves differently than we do on throughout most of our days. And so notice what your body has to say back. Notice what your brain, your being has to say back. Was it worth it? Was it helpful? And then we just keep that going. We'll feel our bodies settle into the posture and start again out at your skin. Feel your outer surface, this impression we have of our shape. Notice where your body feels heavy, warm, pressure. Notice where you feel the softness of your clothing against your skin and the air around your cheeks. And feel inward to your inner structure, feeling your bones, your joint space softening, your muscles relaxing so that your bones can just float inside. And your breath, body and breath together. And that's it. Rest there. body and breath together. Again, scan through and just feel this present moment through what your skin feels, your whole body, pressure, temperature, texture. Recognizing too that your skin changes shape as you breathe. When you feel ready to, you can just start to wake up your breath. Bring gentle movement back into your body. Take your time to move all the ways that you'd like to. And eventually roll to rest on your side. And this is one of my favorite excerpts of, I think it was from a lecture that Ram Dass gave. He's kind of cheeky, pretty fun. So he said this, and it's all about acceptance, self-acceptance and compassionate acceptance of others. When you go out into the woods and you look at the trees, you see all these different trees. And some of them are bent and some of them are straight. Some of them are evergreens and some of them are whatever. And you look at the tree and you allow it. You see why it is the way it is. You sort of understand it didn't get enough light, and so it turned that way. And you don't get all emotional about it. You just allow it. You appreciate the tree. The minute you get near humans, you lose all that. And you're constantly saying, you're to this and I'm to this. That judging mind comes in. And so I practice turning people into trees, which means appreciating them just the way they are. And of course, there's a lot of you in that excerpt. It should say we. We all do it. If you'd like to share an om and a bow, you can make your way to sit. And any spiritual teaching that says, and you don't get all emotional about it, will always live in my heart forever. To om together, begin by exhaling and inhaling. Namaste.